Welcome back to Here and Now. Well, the last time I was here in Kings Point, there were people lined up here, customers, because they weren't allowed to actually go into this shop because of the pandemic. Joining me now is the co-owner of the store, David Hayashida. So David, tell me, what was it like during the early phase of the pandemic?
They were pretty dicey. I think we weren't really sure what to expect like everybody else. And so I thought, well, maybe we'll do like 25% of a regular year. And it really was slow until we got into, say, towards the end of July. And then August was actually much better than expected, and there was a little bit in the fall. So we probably ended up to be maybe about 65% of a regular year. So in the scheme of things, you would say good for a bad situation.
So as I mentioned, David, last time I was here, there were people lined up out here because they weren't all allowed into your shop. How did things change as the pandemic unwound?
We always required a mask and the social distancing thing, so that was a little bit tricky for people to get used to. A lot of people just kept wanting to come in. So we did do one bubble group at a time, and a lot of people didn't like that initially, so people would stand in line and then they would just leave.
Right.
So it was frustrating for all of us because we wanted to keep the customers safe and our staff safe. But of course, as it went along, people did get more accustomed to the 6-foot distance and all that and the mask. So it got a little bit smoother as things went along. Now this year, of course, everybody's got their fingers crossed because it sounds like things are going to open up come July. So people are more comfortable and more careful. So it's getting a bit smoother, but still, with the level 4s and other things that have been happening, it has been slow.
But I gather for a business like yours, we hear so much about how important tourists are, especially tourists from Ontario. What kind of summer are you kind of forecasting, given still the question marks about traveling from the mainland to Newfoundland, the island?
Yeah, it's I don't know if we've done the right thing because we've probably ordered more things from more handmade producers than we ever had, so our selection is huge. And yet on the other hand, our key market is the people from away. So we're kind of hedging our bets there and hoping, that some of those people will show up. And then we were pleasantly surprised last summer with the number of people who had never been to Kings Point from the province that showed up. And, they had a positive experience from just the one room that we were showing, because usually, as you know, there's 3 spaces to work with. So we had 20% space last year. This year we've got 100% space. So fingers crossed.
All right. Like many businesses, I think you attempted to appeal to people with an online shopping experience, whatever that means.
Yes, and we've been trying to develop that for a lot of years, but it really wasn't much last year. I knew quite a number of producers that did get their online shop going last year, but usually it's still less than 10% for most businesses. And we've been hard at it to get ready for this summer, and there's still been glitches, so we're probably still a few weeks behind where we thought we'd be, because we thought we'd be 100%, just push the button and away you go.
David, in St. John's, people in different business were saying, high-end jewelry, high-end automobiles, that people had parked their money because they weren't traveling. Any sense that people were buying maybe higher-end art items than before?
That's hard to say. We did hear that. There was a number of people saying, oh, you're not going to have any problem moving some of the higher priced artwork. But we just found it was somewhat similar. So it does happen that there's the odd person that comes in and doesn't look at it, any of the price tags, and says, I'll take it. But that's still a small number in total.
Well, let's hope that this year brings better things and better business and more travelers. Thanks a lot for your time.
Oh, pleasure. Thank you.